How to make chocolate brownie ice cream. 70 grams of protein, 676 calories. Let's do this. Yes, you're gonna need a Ninja Creami. Just go ahead and get one. Quit complaining. In a nutshell, here's all your ingredients. I use ProClean. It's a grass-fed whey protein. Awesome. Very clean. Chocolate. We got our xanthan gum, the binding to make it a little bit thicker. We got our stevia to sweeten it up. We got our dark chocolate morsels. We got our sea salt, Redmond sea salt, heavy whipping cream, half and half. We got our Alpha Prime Bites chocolate protein brownie, and then an ultra filtered milk. You can use regular milk. I like this because it's higher in protein. What I like to do first is I'm gonna get a pan, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and throw some water in there. We're gonna go ahead and use this to heat up our chocolate. To heat up our chocolate, got our trusty 𝘃𝑀𝑐𝑖𝑡𝑦 food scale. We're gonna put a little glass ramekin there, zero it out. At one serving is 14 grams, so we're gonna add a little chocolate morsels in there. Make sure you get some boiling water. We got this, let's set it aside. Let's go ahead and get any kind of cup. For a measuring cup, we're just gonna zero that out. We're gonna do our dry ingredients. This doesn't have to be weighed out, but we're just gonna go ahead and start off quarter heaping teaspoon of Redmond's sea salt. Next, xanthan gum. This is gonna make it a little bit thicker. I just do like a quarter teaspoon in here. It's perfectly fine. We got our stevia. I don't go crazy here. I just use a couple of packets. I just don't need it that sweet. We're gonna get a brand new bag here. We're gonna rip this open. I'll zero it out again. 3 scoops of ProClean is about 25 grams of protein, but I do heaping scoops. So I go ahead and get our 36 grams, which is gonna give me 30, because I wanna get 70 grams of protein in this thing. Just gonna go ahead and mix all this up. Water is boiling, so we got our dark chocolate. We're just gonna throw that in there, let that get really hot so it starts to melt. Normally I'll add a little bit of coconut oil to my chocolate to help it, but since we're trying to keep this a little bit lower calories, we don't need a lot of extra fat, which I already have. We're just gonna go ahead and use regular chocolate. It's gonna be a little bit sticky to the glass, but we're just gonna go ahead and try and pour as much as we can into our mixture. Ninja Creami canister, throw that on. We're gonna go ahead and zero out the scale. And now we're gonna do all of our wet stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and use 370 grams of ultra high filtered milk. You could use Fairlife, whatever. This is gonna give me my 20 grams of protein from the milk here. Boom. You can see a serving is 30 milliliters. So we're gonna go ahead and add an extra 30 milliliters, 30 grams, same thing. To get our extra 1 gram of protein, also it's gonna give it a little bit extra creamy texture. And then the heavy whipping cream, yes, you could do without it, but we're gonna do another 30. This makes it even creamier. Yes, it's an extra 100 calories. Who cares? We're bodybuilding, we're getting strong. Just hit the stair stepper more. Okay, you can use a $10 one. I went ahead and got this nice little emulsifier. It was like 35 bucks on Amazon, but it really does the job. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna mix our dry ingredients into this milk blend. So I start to spin it and then I just slowly add a little bit in here. I just keep adding a little bit more till it all mixes in there. So we just wanna get it all in there nice and even, mixy mix mix, keep it going. I give it a good little stir here. I really mix it up all the way down around to the top. All right, that's good. Yes, you can use a NutriBullet, but whenever I'm using a hand mixer, it's gonna expand a little bit. It's gonna get some air bubbles in there, and I find it's a little less air bubbles if it's not all the way blended. Maybe other people have a better idea, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my special glove. It's a heat glove because I'm gonna grab this very hot ramekin. All right, this thing is scalding hot, all right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this chocolate and I'm gonna go ahead and scrape it into here. So see, already melted, and I'm gonna try and just get as much as I can. And then once I quickly get this in here, I'm gonna try and blend it real fast like. So this is gonna get a little cool, but we're just gonna get all this chocolate. Yes, it's gonna start to harden up a little bit again, and that's just about all of it. Real fast, like we're gonna get our hand mixer and then we're gonna mix all that nice chocolate in there. There we go. Now you can see that, look at that. We got all these little tiny chocolate pieces. Sure, maybe you could buy shredded chocolate, but I just went ahead and did this. Itty bitty little chocolate pieces, we are ready. So one goes in, and with the power of editing, one comes out. We got our creamy. It is ready, it is frozen, it is looking awesome. Now what I like to do is get hot water. I'm just gonna get hot water in here. I literally do this for a minute. I've never really had an issue about it not being creamy, so I'll turn it upside down, hold it there, just slowly turning it, getting it nice and warm. We're just gonna go ahead and pop off the lid. We're gonna throw this into the little creamy canister. Got our blade, got our lid. That's on there, throw it on top. Once that's sealed, put it into creamy, turn it on. We're gonna spin it up, lock it in, light ice cream. Yes, this thing is insanely loud, so cover your ears. So loud, but we're making ice cream. Okay, here we go, coming out. Let's just go ahead and take this out, hit the button, pop this thing off, get the lid. Whoa, look at that. Boom, and I mean, it is perfect. No respins or anything necessary. You could eat it like this and save a couple hundred calories. I mean, just look, it's already so creamy. That's why they call it Ninja Creami. Time is of the essence here, so look, I'm just trying to eat off some of the edges. Now, This is already delicious chocolate ice cream. So good. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and scoop out a whole bunch of the middle so we can throw our brownie in there. Use whatever brownie you want. Here, I'm just gonna dig a big hole and then eat. I'm gonna dig, and sometimes I'll put a little to edge and then dig a little bit more, put some of the edge, and then just keep it going. There you have it. We got a pretty decent hole in there. So now I'll add brownie. I forgot to hit record, but you get the idea. Get the brownie, take it out of the package, cut it up into a whole bunch of little pieces, and then just go ahead and shove it down in there. Once you do that, go ahead and put it back in, put the lid on, get that in there, lock it in place, turn it back on, hit mix in. We are ready again. Let's go ahead and take this guy out. Boom, and voila, bam. Would you look at that? Boom. Can you see that? Creamy goodness. This thing is so good. I got, man, chocolate brownie. Eating this every day. I mean, like I said, how is this even real? How is this possible? It is so good. Now, yes, I'm not a little skinny bee, okay? Skinny bitch. Everybody else is like, oh, this is only 230 calories. Screw that. This is 70 grams of protein. Okay, now usually mine are a minimum 50, but since I had a 20-gram chocolate brownie, and sure, you could eat half now, half later, but how are you gonna like get any kind of freaking muscles? I've been bodybuilding and lifting weights for 25 years. It's so hard to get strong. You're not gonna get strong eating a baby 200 calorie creamy. You gotta eat the good stuff. So, now again, even if you're trying to lose weight, a lot of times people like undereat, okay? They're like dropping their calories way too much. So for me, this is like a little meal replacement, kinda. I mean, I just get it's like a substituting a giant shake, and I get this giant creamy. Usually they're like sometimes 500 calories, sometimes 400, but I don't do 200 calorie creamies. That's insane. I do high protein creamies because it's already hard to get like your protein goals. If 6 ounces of protein is like 40 grams, or 6 ounces of beef or chicken is 40 grams of protein. So 60 grams, all right, that's a half a pound. 3/4 of a pound of beef or something like that, or chicken, 80 grams of protein. So it's really hard to get that much protein in a sitting. So doing this really helps. All right, I hope you found this helpful. I am loving this creamy. Recipe, everything down below. Let me know what other creamy recipes you want to see. This took a little bit of time to make, but I mean, this is like cheating, but healthy. And Ben & Jerry's, okay, 1,200 calories. This is like, 676, half the calories, and 70 grams of protein. Normally 50, but some people are making them with 30. So do what you want, but I don't make skinny Ninja Creamies. I make tasty ones. And yes, you could save a few hundred calories without the heavy whipping cream, half and half, all that stuff, but like, I want that creaminess, I want that tastiness. I'm not gonna eat this because like I don't even need ice cream, but I'm eating this now because it's making it so much easier to hit my protein goals, and this is super tasty, and it really hits the spot after a workout. Now, I probably won't do this all the time, but I have been eating a Ninja Creamy every day. We're like day 25 and maintaining my weight, looking great. So you can do it. If you create a calorie deficit, I'll put a little screenshot here. 1,200 calories in my workout today. Yeah, I was at the gym for a couple hours. Stair stepper, warmed up, 15 minutes, 45 or 30 minutes as a stair stepper into my workout. Cardio finisher. You'll see the cardio finisher. Go back to my previous post. Half kneeling ball slams and then doing sumo plyo drop squats, 50 reps. I train my ass off so I can enjoy my food. But even if I wasn't training as hard, I could still have my Ninja Creamy. I train a little bit harder so I can look great and then also have burgers and fries and have healthy pizza on the weekends and eat what I want because I can look great while eating smart. Create a calorie deficit through exercise and you can have 700 calorie Ninja Creamies if you want. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, follow me for more recipes, click the like button, share this with a friend or family member that could use some extra Ninja Creamies and some more helpful information. See you soon.